Hello everyone, this is Debbie Henderson from Debbie's Designs. Welcome to my afternoon tea time and a card, and this is episode number 20, believe it or not. I'm just going to wait a few more seconds for everyone to join me. So afternoon tea time on a card is something that I do on my Stamp and Ink Designs group page on Facebook. And I try to do one of these every 2 weeks. I can see everybody coming on. I have my tea all ready to go. Hello everyone. So what I'm going to work on today is an ornament card. And I want to show you the inspiration that I'm using for my card. It's actually a Christmas card that I received from someone that belongs to this group. This is from Cynthia Howard. She sent me this as a Christmas card. And you'll notice it has a little string at the top and the ornament pulls out. And I decided to use this as inspiration to create a Valentine's card because Valentine's is just around the corner. And this is the card I'm going to create with you today. So you can see I have the heart showing in the little cutout. And then, whoops, I gotta lift it up. I've been playing with it. I flipped it out upside down because you can actually turn the heart over to do it on the other side too. So there's my heart that pulls out, and then I have the message underneath. So all you do is slide this back in, and I found the easiest way to do that is to use your bone folder. Slide it back in the slot, and then you can pull it up and down so the recipient will pull that out as an ornament if they want to hang it up somewhere. And when you flip this over, it also has a second side to it. So this is what I'm going to show you how to create today. So let me pull this out again just so we'll have both pieces. And the bundle I'm using is the Heartfelt bundle, which includes the 2 heart punches from the Heart Punch Pack. I'm also using the 1 3/8 inch scallop circle punch. And then for the little hearts that you see up top here, I'm using this die. And that's from the Be Mine Stitched Framelits dies. I'm not using this stamp set today. I'm just using the die. So I've already gone ahead and cut out most of what I need. So here are those little hearts. I've gone ahead and cut out the hearts that I need for the ornament. So this is from the From My Heart designer paper. There's a sheet here that has all the hearts you can cut out. I'm also using the rose glimmer paper. I've gone ahead and cut one of those out. You can see how pretty that paper is, how nice and sparkly. And then let me give you all of the cardstock layers that I'm using. So Real Red, 11 by 4 1/4, scored at 5 1/2. I'm going to go ahead and fold that on the score line. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm so glad you're here. Blushing Bride, 4 by 5 1/4. Another piece of the rose glimmer paper. This one measures 4 by 1 1/2. And then the 2 hearts, the little die cut. And then the designer paper measures 4 3/4 by 3 1/2. So let's get started. Oh, and the ink I'm using today is Flirty Flamingo and Real Red. So the first thing I'm going to do is bring in the scallop heart. I'm going to go in from the bottom as far as I can go. Make sure that my heart is centered on both sides, and then I'm just going to cut that out. So now we can go ahead and start assembling the card base. So I'm going to glue the Blushing Bride. And that's going to go right on the front of the Real Red card base. And then because I have movement going with the heart going in and out, I'm actually going to use tear and tape on the designer paper. So I'm going to add 3 strips. We need to leave the top open only because we need to pull that heart out. So 3 pieces of the tear and tape. And then I'm just going to use my paper piercing tool to remove the backing off. I find that it comes off a lot easier when you're using that. You can use your scissors too. Once you get one of the corners lifted up, it just comes off really easy. Now, make sure you know where you're going to place this because this is going to stick as soon as I put it down. Make sure it's nice and straight. And what I'm going to do is stamp on the inside, even though this is going to be covered by the heart. When they pull it out, they can see the message on the inside also. So with that, I'm going to use Real Red. And then while I work on the ornament, I'm going to actually glue this to the glimmer paper only because it's hard to glue stuff to the glimmer paper. I need to put something heavy on it. I'm going to glue that before I glue it to the cards. I'm going to bring in my little handy sponge, my liquid glue, and then we're just going to dab that on there. I'm going to do every single heart only because, like I said, I'm going to put something heavy on this. I'm going to bring in a mat. And it's stuck to my finger already. Okay, let me make sure that's nice and centered. Now what I'm going to do, because I've already used the scallop punch, I'm actually going to close it and just sit that on top and set this aside. So now let's go ahead and work on the ornament. So we've got this heart, we've got the glimmer heart, and then on the back is where I have the little message, actually that's the front, Happy Valentine's Day. I'm going to do that with Real Red. And on these bold stamps, I usually sit on the paper for a few seconds to make sure the ink gets absorbed throughout the whole image. I'm going to cut out the heart. And because this ornament is sliding in and out, we want to make sure everything is nice and flat. You don't want to use dimensionals for this project. Now I'm going to do the opposite because I thought it would be pretty also to have the red, the outline of the red heart. So this time, instead of gluing my sentiment to the pattern paper, I'm going to flip it over to this side. And you'll see the difference when I have both of them made up. Okay, so this one's going to go on this heart. I'm going to flip this over and glue the rose glimmer paper. I'm putting a lot of glue. I don't want this to fall apart when with the motion of pulling it in and out. And now we need to do the sentiment that goes on the back. Let me go ahead and clean my stamp because I'm going to use Flirty Flamingo this time. And that, again, is going to be on Whisper White. And I'm going to cut that out with the scallop circle punch. It just barely fits in there. And the same thing on this one. We're going to put a lot of glue on here only because it is glimmer paper underneath. That's going to sit right there. Now I'm going to put this one on top and finish up the card. So now here's the piece that I added the punch to. I'm going to use liquid glue again. And we're just going to center this onto the designer paper. Oh, I cut this one a little bit longer than the other one. That's okay. It's actually layered over the Blushing Bride like this one ended. That's why my hearts didn't stand out on the end. I thought that was kind of weird. It looks all right. Okay, now let's bring in a 1/4 inch handheld punch. I'm going to punch a hole. I have 11 inches of twine here. I'm going to thread that through the hole. find the center, and I'm actually going to tie a double knot up to the heart. And then I'm going to bring this over, make it even, and tie a knot on the end. And now the little heart is ready to be inserted into the card. And again, I'm using my bone folder just to push it in there. And there's my little ornament. So let me put this one back in. You can tell that I took this one in and out quite a few times. All right, I lost it. It's in there somewhere. There it is. Okay, so I think I like the red outline better. What do you guys think? You can't really see the designer paper. It kind of melts into the other pattern. So I think I like the red outline better on this one. So there's my card for today. Pretty simple. And you guys can do this with any shape. Whatever shape you want to use at the bottom. Just make sure something fits inside, and then you tie it. And then of course I would, I didn't trim my little ribbon here, my twine. Make that even. So there you go. And then again, you can pull that out. Pull them both out. And I will have one on each side so you can see what I did on both sides of the ornament. So thanks so much for joining me for my afternoon tea time and a card. And I hope to see you guys Sunday for my Sunday share at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time on my Debbie's Designs page. Have a good day, everyone.